DeWanna Bonner is an absolute legend. And this is one of the lowest of the low things that I've seen in sports.
Dana Bonner is officially Dana Goner. After missing 5 games for what was called personal reasons, it's now confirmed Dana is out of Indy. And Fever fans who supported her during her unexplained absence aren't just disappointed, they feel outright betrayed. And it's not only because Dana was expected to be the veteran anchor guiding Caitlin Clark and pushing the Fever toward a true championship run. It's not even just about the hype that surrounded her arrival. Disappointed. It's the reason she reportedly wanted to leave. That's what's leaving such a bad taste in fans' mouths. In a season already full of dramatic ups and downs, the Fever are back in a tough position. But here's the unexpected twist. This might actually be a blessing, and recent signs back that up. Let's break it all down. But first, tap that like button if you had a feeling Dana was as good as gone, and subscribe for more WNBA breakdowns.
When DeWanna signed with the team, she said at this point in her career she's playing for championships and obviously have championship experience in those veterans they brought in. How much did that get to add to the culture or just what it takes to win at a high level?
Yeah, I mean, DB has been tremendous. Like, she's such a selfless leader. Like, she's here to win. She says that, but she really means it.
In an off-season charged with hope for the Fever, Dana Bonner was seen as a building block for a championship-caliber roster. She had the credentials, multiple All-Star nods, championships, and even at 37, she was still producing solid stats. Thoughtful. But more than just the numbers, her leadership was supposed to be the difference maker. Last season, the Fever, driven by Caitlin Clark, charged into the playoffs and became one of the league's hottest teams. Disappointed, but they were swept in 2 games by the Connecticut Sun, and after that loss, even Caitlin admitted it. The team lacked playoff experience and veteran composure. That was exactly what Dana was brought in to deliver. And at first, she looked like a perfect addition, saying the right things, buying into a team-first culture, and stepping into a steady veteran role.
And also joining a team that's just impressive. I think everybody's seen the second half of their season, and it was an unbelievable season. And I just felt like they had a dynamic core, and I just wanted to be another puzzle piece into what they had. And hopefully I can give my knowledge, my leadership, and give it to these young players. So when I retire, they can pass it along. So I feel like they're young, but I also feel like they're a great young. They don't need too much coaching and too much leadership. They kind of figure it out themselves, and I'm just hoping that I can add to it and make basketball a little easier for them, and as well they can make it a little easier for me.
She got a hero's welcome. Fever fans immediately embraced her, bought her jerseys, showed overwhelming support, and celebrated her like never before in her career. She, like the other free agents brought in during the offseason, seemed excited to be in Indy, feeding off the excitement of playing for a championship contender in the most electric basketball market in the country. Gravely. At least, that was the image everyone saw.
I guess to that point, how does this kind of compare to what you are used to?
Oh man, yeah, totally different atmosphere. The support here has been just phenomenal. I really can't go anywhere. I've been here like a week and a half, and everywhere I go, it's just like, we're excited for the season. Thank you for being here. So it's been really, really refreshing. And
you get that on the streets?
I'm sorry?
You get that on the streets?
Yeah, everywhere. Everywhere I go, it's just, can't even go to the grocery store without someone saying how excited they are. So it's just been really refreshing. I'm excited to be here.
And Caitlin, who, despite her incredible achievements and composure, is still just 23 and learning on the job, was genuinely thrilled to have Dana join the squad. As she mentioned in an earlier clip, Caitlin viewed Dana as a selfless veteran who would do anything to chase a title. But are you sure about that? Dana started off strong, moving to 3rd on the all-time scoring list in the Fever's blowout win over the Sky. But the wheels fell off almost immediately afterward. She struggled out of the gate, putting up just 7 points per game, less than half of the 15 she averaged last season. And while those struggles were partly on Dana, they also lined up with questions fans and analysts had already started to ask. Did the front office really bring in the best pieces to support Caitlin Clark? And did Stephanie White actually have a game plan to make this roster function?
I don't know what Stephanie White's doing exactly. I don't have a clue. Again, I don't know what the identity of this team is. I really don't. It seems like they play a different way every game. One could say, well, that's her game plan. She's game planning for each team. How's that working out for you?
Whatever sparked the slump, after only 9 games, Dana suddenly vanished from the rotation for personal reasons. Coincidentally, the same game Caitlin Clark returned from injury against the Liberty. Just before that, Stephanie White had also stepped away briefly for personal reasons, so fans understandably reacted with concern, thinking it might be something serious or family-related. But as Dana stayed out game after game with no clear explanation, no injury note, and no timeline for a return, that concern quickly turned to flat-out confusion.
How is she doing? Is there any timeline for her return?
Yeah, she's doing well. She's doing well. Again, no timeline. I think it's day to day, and for us to just make sure that we're continuing to be supportive of DB.
I don't know what Stephanie White's doing exactly. I don't have a clue. Again, I don't know what the identity of this team is. I really don't. It seems like they play a different way every game. One could say, well, that's her game plan. She's game planning for each team. How's that working out for you?
And just like that, Bonner was gone. After playing only 9 games, she vanished from the rotation. Why? Personal reasons. The timing? Questionable at best. Clark had just come back from injury for a major matchup with New York, and Coach White had also recently stepped away briefly for personal reasons. So, of course, fans gave Bonner the benefit of the doubt. But as the weeks went on and she continued to be absent, curiosity turned to concern. No statements, no injury updates, no explanations, just a void. And when there's silence, rumors grow.
How is she doing? Is there any timeline for her return?
Yeah, she's doing well. She's doing well. Again, no timeline. I think it's day to day, and for us to just make sure that we're continuing to be supportive of DB.
That's when quiet curiosity turned into full-blown investigation mode. Fans spotted that she had wiped all Indiana Fever references from her Instagram. Reports surfaced claiming her jerseys were pulled from the team store. Some even said her face had been removed from inside the arena. Whether those details were accurate or not didn't even matter anymore. What did matter was that the organization wasn't saying anything. And that silence, it only fueled speculation. People began piecing things together. And spoiler alert, they weren't far off.
Multiple league insiders are reporting to Annie Costabile, of course Annie Costabile is breaking this news, of Front Office Sports that Duana Bonner has quote-unquote no interest in returning to the Indiana Fever. Instead, wanting to be in landing spots with either the Phoenix Mercury or the Atlanta Dream.
Before long, major sports outlets picked up the story. Bonner was officially out, period. Attention turned immediately to Coach White. Now that the news was public, surely she'd offer clarity. Right? Wrong. Her answer? Absolute silence.
Obviously, there were reports today that DB isn't or doesn't intend to return to the team. Just what conversations have you had with her and with the front office about that?
Yeah, I've had a lot of conversations recently, really been focused on the group that we have right here and what we need to do to position ourselves to win.
Bonner's agent, same story. Not a single comment. And let's be real, if any of the chatter had been false, a short tweet could have shut it all down. But the silence? That spoke volumes.
No comment is a comment. No explanation is an explanation. If we were trying to get back, we would have said, oh, we're trying to get back. We're trying to work some things out behind the scenes so both parties are satisfied moving forward. We don't even get that.
Now, the image we were sold, that Dana Bonner came to lead, to mentor, to support this developing team, has crumbled. Sources claim that the moment her role shrank, she mentally checked out. No more veteran voice. No more presence on the bench. No more helping Clark handle the overwhelming spotlight. Instead, Bonner disappeared like a failed magic trick, leaving her teammates to handle everything alone.
Multiple sources told Front Office Sports the fit in Indiana was off in the beginning. Bonner, who was signed to be an anchor to win with championship experience for the team's young core, was expected to be a starter. So basically, she stunk it up, got benched for Alexi and was pissed.